I don't know how many of you ever felt like January doesn't really feel like the beginning of the year. It's never really felt like the beginning. It's felt like somewhere in the middle, and it's hazy because that's the month usually when people are broke or people are in a very blue mood. They're like not happy, thriving, flourishing. But come April, I feel like we all have this, quarterly reboot. And I really believe that, if we look at the Hebrew calendar, the time usually starts from April onwards. And it's very interesting to go over the Hebrew calendar and look at also the feast dates as well, because I feel like it's super interesting to know, also to also understand how do people celebrate Passover, because remember when Easter comes around, we'll call it Easter, right? But according to the Bible, you don't find the word Easter, you find the word Passover. Okay, the first depiction of Passover is when when all the babies are being killed, and then the angel of death comes, and the houses that have the blood of the lamb, the angel of death does not go into those homes. So that was like a Passover, a picture of the Passover. The second picture was when the Israelites, when they crossed over, and the seas opened, God opened the sea, and Moses led the people through that waters, so that was known as a Passover, passing over. And then the Passover that we remember, we celebrate, is when Jesus came as the innocent lamb. He became the sacrifice, and he literally became the way to God. He literally became the sacrifice lamb. It's just so interesting that the pictures of Passover over and over and over again in the Bible. Of course, the Jews don't believe, they don't believe that Jesus Christ came to save us. But you do get the Messianic Jews who do believe, and people are definitely doing their work trying to spread the gospel and spread the hope of Jesus Christ. And it's going to be a very exciting time, I feel. So prophetically, I really feel like April is going to be a month to expect more from God. I'm not going to give you any prophetic word or anything. I think I have gotten a prophetic word for April, but before I get on social media and give you like a prophetic word, I think that it's important for me to pray about it and ask God if there's anything I should be sharing with you. But honestly, I would really encourage you to get into a time of fasting and seeking God, because during this Passover that will come about, I feel like the windows of heaven open, and I just feel like it's such a time to consecrate yourself, to set yourself aside and pull yourself away from the world, and really zone into God. And it's a holy time, it's a holy time period. This is a month I really feel like we need to, maybe if you've been feeling like the prompting of fasting, maybe this is something that you need to do. And if you are feeling like you need to set aside more time with God, put away distractions, stop yourself from scrolling, and maybe just put on some worship music, and just sit there. Just sit there. Don't talk about all your issues and all the things you need from God. Just sit there. Just soak in who God is, and remember his goodness and his holiness and stuff like that. But yeah, I like to call it Passover. I don't like to call it Easter. But of course, it's more for Easter. The word Easter is more familiar with people, so people tend to refer to it as that. And I'm not going to be like stoning you or something because you call it Easter. It's just my preference because of my understanding of the Bible. But I'm excited for some reason, even though, a lot's been happening. A lot of you know about my cat that's been missing, but I'm still trusting God for a miracle. Still trusting God that, he will bring my little Peanut home. His name is Peanut. So if you guys can also keep my cat in prayer, Peanut. He's been missing from the 27th of February. He went missing at Gray's Inn Vet. But um, I'm still trusting God for a miracle. It's a month of turnarounds. It's a month of breakthroughs, a month of renewals, a month of restoration. And let me tell you, if some of you feel like you've lost time, He can restore time. He can restore you. Um, I have an excitement in my heart amidst all the things that I've been facing, which is crazy, but that's what God is. And I think that I have to share that with you as well. And I think, as I said, you should pray for a word every month. Set aside some time to fast and seek God. Fasting helps you to silence everything else. If anything, fasting helps you more than it makes God do anything. Okay, it's not a method of trying to get God to do something. It's more so for you to silence your own soul and just go, you know what, let's just focus on God. Let's just set ourselves apart and just seek God. And every time you fast, you strengthen your spirit, man. Every time you feed the flesh, what are you feeding? You're feeding the flesh, you're strengthening the flesh. It's very important to go on consistent periods of fasting where you are seeking God. I don't mean putting the TV off. Excuse me. Why is my throat doing that? Like, I don't mean like you going and saying, I'm going off social media for a month or something, or stuff like that. I really believe those things are important, and I think that those are excellent disciplines. However, and I know of people that do that as well. I think I have quite a few customers, friends and stuff like that that do that, and they believe they're calling it a fast. Okay, and it's completely up to you how you view things, of course. But for me personally, I'm aware that the Hebrew word for fasting is som, right? It's TSOM, which means close the mouth. Okay, and something very powerful happens when we don't eat and we just seek God. um that's a whole other topic, but maybe you didn't know that, and that's interesting to you. And maybe when you fast, you'll fast with this in mind, and I hope this helps. It helped me because I used to like stay away from my phone, stay away from YouTube, and I hardly ever used to do the fasting where I stay away from food or I just drink water and stuff like that. But when I learned that the Hebrew word for fasting is to close the mouth, I was like, wait, okay, let me do that instead. And I found that it was tremendous, the breakthrough. But not just the breakthrough, the strengthening of my spirit, man. That's important because the more stronger you are in the spirit, the more faith you can have to overcome obstacles. So you want to be strengthening your spirit, man. Yeah. But I don't know why I went there, but I hope that helps somebody. The other stuff, they are disciplines and they do help you. But fasting, set aside some time, stay away from the food, drink water. If you're diabetic or you're confused about how to fast, if you have any issues, I'm also a holistic health coach. So if you need any assistance, I can help you. But anyway, do that and seek God. And every month get a word and write your word down. Write a scripture down. Sometimes God will give you a song, or he'll give you a word, he'll give you a number. Write that down because God's communicating with you what to get ready for the month or what to do. He'll instruct you in terms of how to prepare. And he honors that. He honors that when you seek him first for the month. So I hope all that helps. But sometimes I go into places, I don't know why, but it's prophetic, I guess. Anyway, have a cool evening or day whenever you see this. Bye.